Welcome, everybody, to the league. It's the first round of the playoffs, aka the wild card round, and it starts on a Saturday, not a Sunday. So we are a day early this week. I think it may be the same um, next week. And again, I will be in Tokyo next week, so I'm gonna try and put out a video. Obviously, it's not gonna look like this. It's gonna be shitty looking. I could do something else. I have some other ideas that we may do, but again, if anyone else wants to come and volunteer to do a video, um, then by all means, go ahead and do it. I am totally fine with that. I'm sick, so that's awesome. But let's get into this shit. So last week, Judgment Day, the Voyagers, all they needed to do was win. They did not do that. So it opened the door for the Titans Elite and the Washington Wise Guys. The Wise Guys needed to outscore the Titans Elite by 19, just over 19 points. And and obviously win. And if the Titans Elite, they needed the Titans Elite to lose. That did not happen. So if the Titans Elite were to have lost, the Wise Guys would be in the playoffs right now. But the Titans Elite did win, and they actually outscored the Wise Guys by about 12 points, so it increased that. So the Wise Guys lost out in the playoffs by about 30 points, and that is a tough break for this Wise Guys team that started out hot. Week one beating the defending champs. Had some good upsets on the year, but the Wise Guys just missed the playoffs in almost heartbreaking fashion because they did what they were supposed to do. They got the win, um, and now they are basically the top seed in the losers bracket. Um, so maybe that's the consolation here is that maybe they can fight for that number one pick. And do they even have that pick? They do not. They do not have a first round pick. I don't know who has it. They do have 4 second round picks and 2 third round picks, though. So who knows what the Wise Guys are going to be able to do with that? Yeah. So yeah, this is pretty much it. The Trolls clinched the South in a first round bye. The Dumpster Fire did that a couple of weeks ago. So round one, we got the LA Finesse and the Titans Elite, a rematch from last week, and we got the Hickory Grove Heaters and the Long Island Rune Dogs, which should be some good shit. Um, yeah, and no power rankings. I don't think we need power rankings right now. I mean, really, who do you think it is? It's Dumpster Fire 1, Trolls 2, Heaters 3, Dogs 4, Finesse 5, Titans Elite 6. Nothing really more to say about that. Let's get into the matchups. Matchup number one of the consolation bracket. You got another rematch. We got a rematch from last week. We got the Washington Wise Guys at the Vietnam Voyagers. The winner of this game goes on to play the Miami Cartel. So the winner of this game has a fantastic chance to lock up at least a top 2 pick in the upcoming draft. But with the Wise Guys not having that first round pick, it's interesting to see, and let me try and find. I'm gonna go ahead and guess it's the fucking Dumpster Fire, and it is. The Dumpster Fire have the Wise Guys number 1 overall pick. So we'll see what happens here. The Voyagers do have their first round pick, as well as 3 third-rounders and like 3 fourth-rounders and a fifth. So they do have their first round pick. So if the Voyagers do win out, they will have the number 1 pick in the upcoming draft. But when it comes to this game, right now, the Voyagers are up 6-0 at the end of the first quarter. It still looks like it's going to be a very, very close game. Um, Injuries have basically killed the Voyagers this season, and the Wise Guys have just been unlucky when, in certain places, guys like Jameson Williams just not really being what he was drafted to be. And, so that pick kind of hurt, and Algier not really, doing stuff at all for Atlanta, but who the fuck is doing anything for Atlanta? He's got Travis Etienne, you know, um, for the future, who looks to be fantastic. He's the number 3 running back in the league. So that's good, something good to build on. Metcalf has looked good recently. Mixon, although he's pretty old, has looked fantastic this year as well. So he's pretty set at running back right now, and he's also got Chuba Hubbard, who, maybe next year, I'm assuming the Panthers will have a different coach. I think they already do. I don't fucking know. Chuba's looked pretty good the last couple of weeks as well. So I think the Wise Guys are pretty set at running back, whereas it's the exact opposite for the Voyagers. Their running back room, you got Eckler, who looks like he's running through mud, and then there's basically nobody else. But at wide receiver, you got Jefferson, Puka, and other guys. So these teams are completely opposite when it comes to the flex position. This game should be close, but not many people are going to watch it because it's the consolation bracket. Consolation bracket matchup number 2. Oof. You got the Philadelphia Smeagol's at the Tampa Bay Tiger Sharks. This game has not kicked off yet. It'll kick off in about 7 hours from now. This game, again, the winner of this game goes on to play the French Quarter Quailmen. Again, the winner of this game has a very good chance to solidify themselves with a top 2 pick as well. And looking at the Tampa Bay Tiger Sharks, they don't even have a first or a second round pick coming into next year's draft. They only have a 3rd and a 4th, so they are really, really hurting. Again, and the Philadelphia Smeagol's, they do have their first round pick plus 2 seconds, a 3rd, a 4th, and a 5th. They have that extra second from the Hickory Grove Heaters. So again, we do need to figure out a way to get these terrible teams like the Tiger Sharks and the Cartel, and even the Wise Guys and all of that. If they can win the brackets, if they can win the bottom brackets, then there should be a reward for that. However, at the same time, there's also that other thing that says, hey, don't trade away your first round pick. If you do, you may lose it. So again, it's something we're going to have to look into come the off season to find a better solution for more parity in the league when it comes to, I guess, the consolation bracket and winning it, and what does that even mean? Because if you traded your first round pick, what's the point of winning the first round bracket? So you can basically give the number 1 overall pick to a better team, most likely. So we'll see. But we will deal with that in the off season. But yeah, this game has not kicked off. It looks like the Smeagol's should be able to take this one by about a touchdown. Excuse me. Smeagol's just missing out on the playoffs as well. They could have had a chance had they won 2 weeks ago, but that did not happen, so they are here in the consolation bracket. Smeagol's went 7-7 last year as well, so this is not a very, very fun time for this team and this franchise right now. But if they can win this game, then they can most likely beat the Quailmen and then take on either the Voyagers, the Wise Guys, or the Cartel, which are all very winnable games. So the Smeagol's could be looking at the number 1 overall pick and possibly the best chance at that number 1 overall pick. But fuck the consolation bracket. Let's get into the real bracket, the winners bracket, the actual playoffs. First matchup. of the winners bracket. Another rematch from last week. You got the SC Titans Elite at the LA Finesse, the West winning LA Finesse. And last week, the Titans Elite beat the Finesse by 2 touchdowns, 148 to 134. Lamar Jackson did his thing. Mostert did his thing. OBJ had a good game for the Titans Elite. Singletary did very, very well. And this week it's going to be very similar. But Patrick Mahomes did not have a very good week. Josh Jacobs, I think, is out. Yeah, he was out and he did not play. He's on the bench. Deebo Samuel and CeeDee Lamb are going to need to step up in a big, big way for the LA Finesse to win this game. Again, this game has not kicked off yet, and it looks to be dead fucking even. It is in favor of the Titans Elite by less than a fifth of a point. So this is a coin flip. So it really all comes down to, Mahomes versus Jackson, Connor versus Montgomery, Ford versus Mostert. But I think the biggest thing in this game to look out for the Titans Elite is Tyreek Hill. He is still questionable, and it looks like he's going to be a game-time decision. If he plays, I think the Titans Elite can pull out the upset against the Finesse. If Tyreek Hill does not play, then the Titans Elite are most likely going to have to put in a guy, I think, like Justin Watson or a fucking tight end and Tyler Conklin or Dawson Knox. So, and neither of those guys can put up more than, say, maybe 10 points at most in any given week. Justin Watson has had a game where he's had 13, but every other game has been very, very meh. And so the Titans Elite are banking on Tyreek Hill. The good news is that Tyreek Hill does not play until Sunday, and all of the guys on the bench don't play until Sunday, so he will be able to make that decision if it comes to it. But it's all going to depend on Tyreek Hill. But I think if he plays, the Titans Elite can pull out the upset in this one. The biggest matchup, though, you got the Long Island Rune Dogs at the Hickory Grove Heaters. This game has kicked off. It is the end of the first quarter. The Rune Dogs are up 20-4. Devontae Adams went crazy in the first quarter, while Max Crosby didn't do too much for the Heaters, and it looks like the Rune Dogs may be able to pull away with this one. I think the Heaters are really, really going to need something big from the running back room in Tyjae Spears and Dameon Pierce, whereas the Rune Dogs have Derrick Henry. So if Spears can, say, steal a touchdown somewhere, somehow, then that takes away points from King Henry. And again, there is a world where both of them can have good games, but it's going to be very difficult for these Heaters to come back in this one. He's going to need a big game from A.J. Brown, Kittle, and even Mike Evans is going to have to step up. But I think the Rune Dogs, they might just be a little bit too powerful, and they're getting hot right at the right time, as just last week, the Rune Dogs took down the league-leading Columbia Dumpster Fire by 2 touchdowns. Even though the Heaters did win big by 31, they only beat the Quailmen. And both of these teams did put up right around 140 points last week, but it's looking like the Heaters may fall just short of that this week, but we will see. Let's get into the predictions, which are made by me. And here are the picks. I got the Voyagers over the Wise Guys. Of course, I'm going to pick myself. Sorry, hold on, let me go back. Thank you to the committee. They went 4-2 last week. So we are 53-31 on the year and 63% overall after the regular season, which is fantastic. And I think even unless we go 4, 0 and 4, 0 and 4, or 0 and 6 or whatever for the next 3 weeks, I think most likely we will have a better overall percentage and record than we did last year. So that is great. But yeah, this week I've got the Voyagers over the Wise Guys. I've got the Smeagol's taking down the Tiger Sharks to advance in the consolation bracket. I've got the Finesse over the Titans Elite, but I don't know. That one feels iffy to me. I can never trust the Titans Elite, but whenever you can't trust them, that's when they pull shit out of their ass. So we'll see. But beating a team, in back-to-back weeks is very tough. And the Finesse did beat the shit out of the Titans Elite back in week 3, 152 to 100. So again, it was completely different teams back then for the most part. So it could be interesting there. And I've got the Rune Dogs over the Heaters. Yeah, I'm making this pick after Thursday's games, but I think the original projection was the Rune Dogs over the Heaters. I don't know who I would have gone with without the adulterated game put in there, but it should be a good game. But I think with the Heaters not having Pacheco, not having Stevenson in there at running back, it's going to really, really hurt them. And it's the worst time. Guys getting injured right in the wild card round. It's the worst time for that to happen. And the thing is that the Rune Dogs are fully healthy and they're looking to fire on all cylinders. So I got the Rune Dogs moving on. If this were to happen, the winner of the Finesse and Titans Elite game go on to play the Charleston Trolls, and the winner of the Rune Dogs and Heaters go on to play the Columbia Dumpster Fire. So very, very big time matchups here. And let's get into golf. The last hole of the season. It's very interesting what happened this last week. Some notable things that happened. Dan got a couple of birdies. Graydon got a couple of birdies. E-Man got a birdie. Matt got 2 birdies. Hunter got 3 bogeys. And when I was going over the score, I thought, shit, they may tie. They might tie Matt and Hunter at the top. But it did not happen. 3 bogeys puts Hunter in second place and Matt as the winner of the goal line Stein. And before we celebrate, let's remember Hunter had 2 strokes taken away because he didn't put in a prediction video. Had he done that, we would be going to a sudden death hole 19 this week, which has never happened before. But that's not the case. Hunter shot himself in the foot. The Hickory Grove Heaters have won the golf Stein, the goal line Stein. Is coming to Hickory Grove for the first time in the history of golf. Congratulations, Matt. Rico stayed at 12 over. 17 under is not a new record, but it's still pretty good. But let's get out of here. Now we're almost at 19 or almost 20 minutes here, but good luck to everybody in the playoffs. Good luck to everybody in the consolation bracket. I will see you guys next week. Again, I will be in Tokyo, so it'll be a stripped down video. Excuse me. And yeah, good luck, fuckers.